Hey, welcome back to SGCFRO. This is Simone, I'm your host, and this video is going to be the interior teardown of the Range Rover and the dyeing process. Alright, welcome back to the channel. I apologize about the last week. This video was meant to go up then, but unfortunately we kind of more or less broke ground on the building the garage. So this is a quick little story on that. So I had to get my Range Rover together and moving, and I just did not have time, to put all these different clips together and then edit it to put it up. So I'm gonna do it today, and you're gonna see this in a minute. But so the Rover's partially together, not completely. You can probably still see some of the bits and pieces here. I got the front section together, but with that said, I got the dye taken care of for the front section, and I got some of the audio stuff, so it'll be coming up later. I'm still finishing up a couple of bits and pieces on that. So the video part for the Rover interior teardown, it's kind of going to be cut like a quick montage. I was initially doing it step by step, but that was just so much, so long. So I have those clips. With that said, it would be like a 2-hour video essentially, so I don't think anybody wants to watch that. And I know there's plenty of videos like Powerful UK or whatever up on YouTube on how to take all these panels off, how to take that off, how to get this and that off. For the dye impressions, I don't have a piece laying down with me, it's all in the car actually. But that said, so far, beer here. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna see how long it lasts. There is some spots I need to redo, and that was just me not either getting impatient, not working the way I should be working with it. But with that said, I'm gonna redo in the summer when it's warm outside, when it's not 30 degrees out, or it's like 0 Celsius. So because I did it all here in the basement. But with that said, I'll touch up and mess with that stuff later. So I'm gonna see how it lasts. So that's gonna be the actual full review. How long did it last? How well it lasts? But first impressions, pretty happy with it. I felt like it had that almost new car smell, and like when I did a little bit of reading, a little bit of research, I guess that that leather is certain coat that they do coat it with that stuff. And funny enough, a lot of that the stuff that came off, like the plastics, and I was saying, like I know some of you see them like on the handles and whatnot, that like kind of seems like rubbery and starts rolling off. That seems to be exactly the same dye, and it just breaks down as a bonding compound. Because when I was dyeing, and I've noticed some of the spots I had to kind of redo because I did mess them up right then and there, and it came off just like that. But that said, some of the biggest tips that I'll give that I probably did not follow myself as I did them, hence why I know them. But I am going to do that on my rear, for the rear section. This way, if I'm going to do anything, there's going to be a couple of things in the front. Clean it with a Scotch-Brite pad. So I guess that roughed up the leather a little bit and took some of the old coating paint off, and then made it bond a bit better. So I'm going to say that now, clean it with the Scotch-Brite pad really well. Also get yourself one of those, which is one of the things I'm going to pick up, little sponges. The kit come with the sponges, but you can get one of them little knife sponges. They're like, looks like a little paintbrush, they're small. So you can get it in between spots without putting too heavy of a layer in. Next is just do thin coats, and if you got to do a bunch, you got to do a bunch, and buy more dye. If you're going from a color change like I did, just get more dye. You're gonna need it. I went through that 32-ounce bottle for the front, and I actually got a 16-ounce back there. The front had a lot. We had the dash, we had the seats, the door panels, the center console, the armrests. There was a solid amount up front. But that said, I had to get a little bit of that just to finish a couple of touch-up spots. So hopefully that's enough for the rear seats, the rear doors, and the little bolsters on the side. I'm going to find out. I might have to get more. But that's because, I went from cream interior to black interior. So you're doing like a drastic color change like that, you will need more dye. Just telling you that now. There's even some spots right now in the front which are kind of, when you look a certain way, you can still see some of the cream show off, like you go with another coat. And hence, later I'll redo that this summer to see how it lasts, and I'll redo all those light colors to make sure it blends in nice and good and solid. So that's going to be like my little spiel on that. and take your time and do it real slow, and try not to have any run spots, and make sure you in place where you're doing it is nice and clean. If you have heaters, like vents, close them all. It's kind of like when you're painting. You don't want no settlement of dust and dirt, or if anything, you want it all pulled out away, because while the stuff dries, things can fall in it and get into it and just kind of be part of it. Because I had like a couple of cat hairs, and like 2 of them stayed because I just couldn't. It was already dry and I was so far in. By the time they showed up, I'm just like, I'm not redoing it. It's like the whole section, not right now at least, because I need the car back together. And some like random dirt piece showed up in there, and like a little stubby thing, and yeah, it's just gonna be, like I said, a few spots need redone. But that said, I don't even have the armrest for the door for the passenger side, the new style Vogue ones, yet. So I'm not too worried about that. So I'll get that, replace that. But so far, but that's all this said, I am pleased with it. Seems pretty good. I'm just gonna have to see how it lasts. But they give me the result that I wanted to. And here's the little montage of me tearing the interior down apart, and then towards the end there, you'll see me going with the dye process. So let's get started on that. I already have. So I have a lot of the stuff cleaned up. I already did applied the prep here. I'm going to show you how to apply the prep on the rest of these. For the back, I decided I'm going to dye completely the lower seat, and then the upper rest I'm going to dye just the part where it touches the lower, just because it'll be easier to do the headrest and everything else with the seat kind of assembled, and to do the full upper because how the leather wraps around the back and everything like that. So this part right here is going to be the same as going to be with the dye. So a little step, you want to pour some of this in the container and dab your sponge into it. So that's what we're going to do. I'll shake it up first. It doesn't really specify how much you need to use or how many coats. So just let's put wipe or spray 1 coat of primer. So just a single coat against that. We're going to wipe that on. Here's the sponge, and then the dye. The direction is going to be a little bit different. Right. We're going to start dyeing this. I'm going to shake this paint up. So it says in directions straightforward, just like the primer, adhesion coat. Same thing. Make sure it's clean, fluid dirt, fluid breeze, blah blah blah. Light coats of automotive leather dye, allowing each coat to dry before applying the next. Foam style sponge works for application. Hair dryer can be used to speed up the dry time. Then afterwards, apply the top coat and the leather protection cream. Alright, so we're going to pour this guy right back up in here. We've got the gloves on, so we'll get down that on. So it's telling us to go up and do light dabs, like rub this in very lightly, but a light coat of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then let it dry and do it again, 2 to 4 times, as long as it takes to get us to be black. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so this is a little bit frosty out here, but here's the leather. As you can see, it's all finished, it's black. It's in a console, it's all dyed. Here you can see a couple of my screw ups. This is where you got to be thin and careful so you don't lay too heavy. After you get the dye, excuse my cold breath because I'm a little cold here, you have to put in the top coat, 2 to 3 layers, which I only did 2. I probably should have done more, or like on the parts you see done and everything else, but because I gotta redo a couple of things, I'm not too worried about it, so I'm gonna see how it lasts. Door panels on the back, that's for the speaker stuff, but this is what it looks like. That's the finished product. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.